behind the tower on less than 100 HP. Looks like he'll be allowed to channel this recall as Karaoke making the counterplay on bot side. Netuna walking straight into his face. Here comes that massive Q. Down to half HP goes the Xayah, but it's just damage. They'll just be traded away.
It's not crushing blows yet. Trajan, wait till he gets the Sheen. Yeah, wait till the Sheen comes in, then that Tuno's gonna be like half health, right, or quarter HP when he takes that full combo. And I love the fact that Pain Gaming has opted in for the Wukong, especially into the Sejuani, because as long as Sedge doesn't get too much done in the early game, if they're not coordinating dives onto somebody like Weiser who's getting really low, then this Wukong just massively outscales, right? Eventually, when it gets the Divine Sunderer, the Black Cleaver, the Cyclones plus Crushing Blows is going to do so much work, especially into this double AD carry composition, which is so squishy. As now we see both of these junglers posturing into that bot lane.
Yeah, you can see they both know exactly where they have to be. They know where the bread is buttered, as you put it. It's this bot lane, man. These carries, they're all important for these teams' success. And Netuna takes a fair old chunk just positioning up, maybe trying to bait them into a bad engagement. Just loses half HP and will be allowed to take this wave without too much trouble as they do back away. So, yeah, I agree with you. I would take Wukong pretty much every time. I am, as much as I question the fact that Karaoke and Pain don't seem to care about Sejuani, I would also put that as like my least favorite of the three, or maybe the Vi I'd even put below it. I think Wukong is the number one for me. The Cyclones and the invisibility, getting over walls the way he can, it's just so strong, so versatile in fights, and the Black Cleaver synergizes so well.
And especially works to kind of help your team with the follow-up engage, right? Wukong will go in, he'll Cyclone, then you'll get a Gnar, or you can get the Renata Glass set up here, right? Or even the Syndra, right? With the Scanner of the Week. There is so much follow-up that can happen after Karaoke gets that Cyclone in. It'll be really hard to live, especially if you're so squishy like Los Grandes, right? They've got Kennen, they've got a double ADC, they've got Heimer. Really, the only individual that's frontlining is Ranger, and as long as you're just playing around that and they understand is now the potential invade is going in onto the Grom as 4 members strong are going into this bot lane. B-Boy has to be sensing something here. The spider sense is tingling for this guy.
Yeah, he's not quite going to spot out Ranger. Ranger will step back on the ward. He'll bounce out of the wall. And they had Karaoke in the area if things got ugly, but they will just step away. Again, an attempt to a kind of pressure was made onto that bot side, but neither team ready to full send in it, which I think is probably the right move. Pain have already picked up that first dragon. They've got that Ocean Drake, which gives them that nice lane regen to work off. And they are going to be feeling pretty comfortable here. As this lane kind of extends further and further, though, we are going to get those ultimates online. And then we are looking for Ranger to hit those Sejuani ultimates. The full engages from Lava as well, who can look for the resets. And maybe we will see a bit more action and get a sense of who's going to take the lead to lead off this series.
And I think one of the disappointing things right now is that Los Grandes bot lane has not accumulated the lead that we would have suspected, right? They lock in the Heimerdinger into this immobile bot lane. And yeah, B-Boy's taking some damage. He's down to 60% health. But the CS is relatively even keel, right? Once he picks up this wave, he's only going to be down 5 to 6 CS. When you, in my mind, pick up the Heimerdinger, right? You take this long range kind of poke mage. You really want to hammer in the fact that, hey, we're going to control the wave state. We're going to control the lane. You're not going to be able to see a CS unless you're under your tower. But instead, they've kind of just laned this out like a regular lane, like a regular bot lane, instead of forcing B-Boy off. I mean, B-Boy was left alone by himself for a little bit. Is now Genkato caught backing in the bush.
Move by Lava against the Syndra with ultimate there. He doesn't have much mana to speak of. They will just back away. Lava, I guess, knows he's not in kill range, but it certainly looked quite bold, and maybe that gives us a sense of how he's going to be playing this upcoming mid game.
Yeah, I love seeing that from the mid Tristanas, right? No fear, jumping in. I mean, that's the way to play it, right? I don't like these more apprehensive, I'll only jump in if it's a guaranteed kill. No. If you pick this double ADC composition, if you pick a Tristana mid, you have to kind of be a little bit overly aggressive. Because if you play apprehensive, if you play passive, then there is no fear being struck into the hearts of Pain Gaming. Is now Karaoke looking to strike some fear with these Cyclones.
He's got the gank in there, forces the Feather Storm, and it will just be an easy Ultradus. Here finds first blood. This gank looks a lot more successful. Ranger and Hirit connecting in top lane. They'll find first blood.
Yeah, and Weiser having a little bit of suspect in that laning phase is now with the Feather Storm down. Flash Cleanse is available. Lava is here, though, to clean up potentially.
Hostile takeover only catches the Heimerdinger, won't do any damage really, and Lava is there to support. Karaoke still without the chance to use that ult yet, but will be rebuffed for now. But he's sticking around, man. He really wants to get this pressure down. At the very least, they'll find a plate or two.
Yeah, they need to zone them off because he understands that Rift Herald is going down right now. It's down the Cyclone.
Still going on to it. Zai with the flash. He's been rooted up, actually,
Ooh,
and is
he's
ticking
got
ever lower. And he burns down with no kills to find. And Zai, after all that, takes the second kill.
You're saying worth if you're Heimerdinger there, right? Hey, imagine
easy clap.
the gusto that Karaoke had with the Wukong. He said, "You're really gonna come on to me with my turrets, with my ultimate? I have Ignite ready. I mean, you're forcing this. It's not gonna happen." As Zai turns it around, Rift Herald gets secured for Los. He comes down now. Ranger will be ready to potentially take this dragon that's going to spawn, or at least set up vision at around the 45-second mark. Right now, Los Grandes got everything. They got their cake, and they're allowed to eat it, Trajan.
Yeah, the old hard engage into Zaya, a little bit suspicious, and Zaya Karaoke does not have a good time there. Bevo and Damage, they can't follow up. They're not a Tristana, they're not a Kai'Sa. They can't catch up with this very zealous Wukong engage, and it goes very wrong for them as Wiser is fighting back in that top side. Here it should be safe enough now the ult has gone down. I say that though, one more Q and it gets a bit dicey for him as Lava as well, under attack by Ninkado, jumps in with the Buster Shot, tries to insec him. And it will at least dissuade further fighting, but Pain Gaming all across the map, they're trying to clap back.
Yeah, Lava really doing a good job kind of dissuading the ultimate, kind of dissuading any more follow-up. I like the fact that he went for that Tristana insect, like you mentioned. It's just going to pick up some fruit down into the bot lane. Pain Gaming do have the dragon lead. They picked up Ocean earlier, as now the Glacial Prison comes in.
Perfect ultimate onto Ninkado, and he does have the flash, but no point dropping it again. Los win out as Zai was able to slow up damage, rotate it over. Now they've dropped the Herald. There's a dragon they can go for if they want. This is looking a whole lot like game one of Los versus Furia yesterday, Shibby. It was an absolute shutout, and this is going pretty similarly.
Los had their Wheaties today, Trajan. They ate their breakfast. Yeah, no, they're on something new. They're looking like yesterday's Gen G. Absolutely, just cleaning the floor. Call it right now. Los is Gen G. But realistically, they're just playing really good League of Legends, right? The rotation with Lava onto the bot lane to cover the dive, having Ranger stay up top to pick up the Rift Herald, now roaming bot, and also just understanding that, hey, we have a window here where we could burst out Dinkado. No scatter of the week, nothing available. Glacial Prison plus detonation charge on the Tristana is absolutely going to tear through any mage in the mid lane. With that pickup, they get the dragon as well. They stop the stacking, and now they're a comfortable 2,000 gold lead ahead of Pain Gaming.
It is a wonderful start for Los. You can see the gold charts there on your screens. Both the solo laners topping it for Los Grandes as the ults are traded by Hero and Wiser again. We saw this recently a second ago. He's been stunned up. One more Q and Wiser could find the solo kill for the Pain top laner. Finally, something's going right.
Wiser said, take the house, take the kids, take everything. I just need some gold back, man. Wiser with the solo bolo on to hear it. A shining star on the side of Pain Gaming, but is he going to be able to match up in these team fights, right? I think Kennen with the slicing maelstrom is going to do massive amount of works, especially into the Syndra and the Affiliates. If he gets a flank angle off, if he flashes over and they're caught with their pants down, I mean, it's over, right? Los Grandes has the double 80 carry setup follow-up. They have the Glacial Prison ready as well. I think team fight-wise, it's going to be rough for Pain Gaming to eke themselves out here.
All those squishies are very immobile, Shibby. Like you say, if Here It gets that perfect flank, they ain't really got anywhere to go as Ranger forces the flash with over the wall with the Glacial Prison. Zai was ready and waiting in damage as well, but this time Ninkado survives. They have been pressurizing this Pain mid laner a lot over the last few minutes, and I think it's a pretty good idea. Ninkado's been playing some of the best League of his career, to my mind, in the recent weeks. Took him off the Veigar, the Azir got changed and nerfed a little bit. He's on the Syndra now and keeping up in CS, but definitely not having the lane you would have wanted.
Oh, he's not having fun. That's for sure, right? He's got a ward both sides. Even then, you have to worry about like a flash, Glacial Prison. Like as we've been talking right now, Trajan, Ranger's ultimate is halfway off of cooldown. right? Like, I guarantee you he's going to be visiting that mid lane very, very soon. And if Karyoka's not in the right spot, if he's not ready to respond, it's going to be another kill for Lava, right? They're just going to rinse, repeat this
Yeah.
guy over and over. I mean, it's a dream for a Sejuani player to have such an immobile mid laner ready for him to gank, and you have the follow up with this Tristana. It's absolutely disgusting here. As turret plating has gone down, we are back just into the 14 minutes now. Turrets are not as strong as damaging Karyoka have kind of been hand holding so far into this like early mid game.
Yeah, they're really trying to keep the Kato safe here. You mentioned, Rangers probably just going to come back here, and why not? Definitely the easiest target. The Sejuani, be winnable for Los Grandes. They really prioritize this pick for Ranger, and we can see why he gets so much done in the laning phase on this champion and can snowball it forward into the fights. He's all been going according to the game plan thus far, that we have slowed down just a little bit. We don't have another dragon for a couple of minutes, a herald for 30 seconds, and maybe that will be a reason to force another engagement. Or Los Grandes, they could just keep trying to dump that pressure onto Ninkado's head. They're going to walk into karaoke. Oh, lovely knock up into the scatter of the week, and Zai disappears as Lost run for the hills.
Houdini is playing for Pain Gaming? Like, Zai's health bar absolutely disappeared, right? The Cyclone scat of the week follow-up. No even unleashed power was needed from Dinkado, right? Didn't even need to expend the ultimate, so they could go for another, probably engage or go for another dive potentially here onto Netuno. Sindre is just going to stop into the mid lane here. Really nice from Pain Gaming to play around the vision cones. That's kind of what they're going to have to do until we get to that more mid to late game point. Because right now, I think like Los Grandes, they just have the better press R buttons. But as long as Pain Gaming is playing around vision, they're setting up these kind of vision traps. Is now Zai's looking to get some revenge. Lava is going to go in.
Yeah, couldn't find the stun, so Dinkado with the scatter of the week pushes back Lava, and he'll simply walk out there, not quite executed correctly, as that bot lane tower fell for BV and damage. Zai has been dedicating a lot of time outside of this lane. He hasn't been leveraging that 2v2 power, and then as we just saw, walks into a stun and dies, even gives away gold for his trouble. And now B-Boy with that first brick is going to be kept up in the gold department despite being slightly down in the CS department.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, Pain Gaming has been playing more around their bot lane. We did see Renata roam with the Wukong here towards mid game, but Los Grandes instead opting in for that second Rift Herald. They're probably going to use that to crack open that mid lane. That's the safe play. That's the 100% play, right? You pop that open right before the dragon. As actually they're going to trade the objective. They don't care about Cloud Soul. Trajan, you've known me. You know how much of a hater I am of Cloud Soul.
Yeah.
It's the worst dragon in the game, so I'm glad that Los Grandes is just opting to give that away.
Yeah, I don't see a huge amount of synergy for it really here. B-Boy could use a bit of movement speed to try and kite away, perhaps, but that's kind of it. I don't think anyone else really needs it. This Herald's going to go into the top side. Lava going to be gifted that solo gold in the lane. Going to be happy to keep snowballing forward on the Tristana, who doesn't have the first mythic done yet. Lava really wants to get that to get some mid-game power going, as the second charge will be allowed to come off as well. Oh, he dodged the stun. Can he actually just take this?
Yes, that's 600 gold.
That's like 1,000 gold plus that wave more for the Lava. What a massive swing.
Lava won the lottery, man. They used the Rift Herald with the tower busting up Tristana. A quick 2 turrets into the top lane. Solo gold as well. I think you're right. It is absolutely 1,000 gold into his pocket. Yeah, he just picks up a raw BF.
Oh my god.
Finishing the Kraken Slayer. This guy is direct injecting gold into his veins.
Yeah, that was so massive for Lava. This next fight, he is going to be a menace. You can see the goals. He jumped ahead of everybody there. He's over 1,000 ahead of Dinkado in second place. Now all Los have to do is leverage that. They need to try and find a fight, I dare say, in the next few minutes to try and make use of this very strong spike for the Tristana. They've got their ults ready. Hear it, he's got the flash and the ultimate. He's ready to get stuck in. Let's see Los use this team comp to stop Pain Gaming dragging that gold lead back.
Yeah, and it's so interesting looking at Rangers build here. He just opts in for the raw Anathema's rush. And, I haven't been seeing a lot of Rangers. Is this something he typically does, Trajan, on the Sejuani? Like, is this something, is this a CBLOL special? Like, am I out of meta right now?
I think we saw this more from Aegis and the like. I think the Maokai players generally do it, and Ranger is one of those. He is a Maokai player, so I think it maybe is just that demographic that he's a part of that likes to do it. And I'm wondering if this is on Syndra or Aphelios right now, because they're both pretty scary.
Yeah, it's probably, I would assume, on the OS now.
Oh, gets that cleanse and lava, wants to follow up, but Karaoke's there, forces the flash away, the hostile takeover. Wiser on the flank as well, chipping away at Ranger, but those Heimerdinger turrets make it pretty unfortunate to follow up on. And Lava, he's inching, he wants to get in, get stuck in and get some kills. But the hostile takeover is too good, as top lane is picked up by Dinkedo while it was all going down.
Yeah, and here in this bot lane right now, Wiser doing a really good job just matching him. It's like saying, you know, wherever you go, I'll be right there with you, hand holding, just kind of staring him down and just matching so that he doesn't get too much gold on his side. As here we have yet to see a massive team fight ultimate, like you mentioned, and I need to see it. This Kennen, you pick it to team fight around dragons, around Rift Heralds, around these skirmishes, so you can start getting the lead, setting up the vision, but he just hasn't been able to participate in any of these fights. He's died once in the solo lane, and after that, he got a kill, I believe, top lane, and that was it, right? We haven't really seen too much after that. And so now I want to know, how is Los going to move this Kennen around? How are they going to kind of work their composition to force some of these fights? Because right now it feels like Pain Gaming, despite kind of falling behind a little bit in the early game, are more forcing the issue onto these objectives, playing around vision cones, understanding like, hey, if you move up too far, we're just going to burst you out with Cyclone plus Unleashed Power.
They certainly feel stable right now, Pain. They're a little bit down, but they don't feel behind at all. It feels like they're just as scary as Lost right now. And I'm interested to see just how much MR they have in their inventories right now. They're really indexing against the Heimerdinger and the Kennen engage when that first big play rolls around, potentially at the Dragon in a little over a minute. We had put Hira into the bot lane for Los Grandes, so that they were going to keep him there, so he's going to be there ready for the Dragon, but he does at least still have the TP, and they're going to have to play off those flank wards to really get him inside the backline, because the flashes are all up for Pain. It's not going to be as easy as it could be for Hira to get that massive R.
And the Merc Treads value is absolutely insane right now, right? It stops the Sejuani, it stops the Heimerdinger, right? Also the Kennen, the MR. It's so good here that Pain Gaming, even if they, like you said, do get caught out, they may get CC'd for a little under a second, if not at just 1 second. And so they have, like you said, the opportunity to turn around. And the counter punch from Pain Gaming with Cyclone, with hostile takeover, right? If B-Boy is allowed to live, if he has the right guns ready to go, they can just absolutely just drown Los Grandes, and there's nothing that they can do because all the engage has been thrown. The Glacial Prison, the Slicing Maelstrom, there's so much there that if they miss that first initial hit, there's nothing much Los Grandes can do. As now Pain Gaming, I like how they're playing. They're not playing afraid. They're not playing like they're behind. These vision cones are so important.
Ranger trying to get some purchase in that topside river brush, but Karaoke and Dinkedo fight back on him. Lava is currently working on that dragon, I think, but Wiser's going to be aware of this. He might be able to find a little bit of a flank if his team can follow up as Pain. Actually rotating back onto the Baron, potentially forcing a trade from Los Grandes, and for second Drake Cloud, doesn't feel like value to me. What is Los's answer going to be here?
I don't think Pain Gaming do it fast enough. Unfortunately, they only have Syndra and Aphelios, and Aphelios doesn't have the red and white gun, so he's not going to be able to shred through it. But instead, they're actually going to let it fall as nobody from Los is answering.
Ranger needs to get in there. He's on the fat side of the wall. No response is found. TP came in from Lava. There's the frag from Hit! There's the Slicing Maelstrom! Everyone caught up in the cloud, but the disengage is there, and it's Pain Gaming fighting back. They take the top side. They take the mid laner. Pain Gaming, they get it all.
It doesn't matter if you do Baron slow, because if the enemy team gives you half a minute to do it, you'll take it like that. Pain Gaming, they out macro Los Grandes, and they say, you know what? We'll just tank the Kennen engage, because we understand that nobody on Los Grandes' side is ready for the follow-up. Lava couldn't come in. You know, it was left alone. As you look right here, right? You see just where everybody is here. So far ahead. Ranger's the only one that can follow up. Yes, a nice Slicing Maelstrom. The Glacial Prison hits Karaoke, but you just look at Zai, Natuno, and Lava. They can't walk in because Wiser is big, because Scatter the weak hits. And since the engage is gone, Now that that Merc tread value has been realized, the flashes have been blown, Los are like, no, this is a losing fight. We can't do anything. They cut their losses and they lose the Baron.
We saw Los Grandes get such a strong early game, so reminiscent of Game 1 versus Furia yesterday. But here's the difference. Pain Gaming, they took that, they saw it, and they have out-macroed their way back in. I'm going to be blunt, Shibby. Furia could never. Furia absolutely could never. And we saw that yesterday. This is the Pain Gaming that has ended up first in the regular split. They have such great minds behind this team, so much experience, and they now have the talent to push that one through. They managed that fight perfectly, and now they have the Baron to push with. Here's the aggression from Lost, trying to fight back onto Ninkado. They don't find the kill once again. Karaoke in the flank with a Cyclone onto Hear It. He does get him with a Slicey Maelstrom, but doesn't find B-Boy. He just turns right and guns him down for the killing spree.
That was a 4v5 from Pain Gaming. Weiser's not even there, and they're still looking to go in, but now the hostile takeover comes in. What do you do with all this disengage, right? It's so disgusting, because once lost, like you said, they throw their engage in. There's nothing they can really do. Is Weiser, yep, just going to chuck you back into the turret. I want nothing to do with you right now.
He's just 1v3ing right now as Dinkado TP's in to finish up the job. Dinkado doesn't find the kill into Rangers. He flashes to safety, but now with the Baron still alive, it's going to be another tower. Look at that gold swing. It is comfortably in Pain's favor now. And Los Grandes, as soon as they didn't have the advantages to play with, I don't know what they're supposed to do now. It feels like they're not quite sure what they're supposed to do.
As we do get a pause here, Pain Gaming, just quite frankly, Trajan, were the smarter team. They've just been playing smarter, right? Just at the moment since they've been playing around the vision cones, the way they're setting up their pink wards, right? Los Grandes was banking on the fact that, we're just stronger right now. We got direct injected gold into lava. We got out of laning phase with the lead, right? We got better ganks off, but it just feels like towards that mid game, they're not really kind of playing cerebrally, right? They're saying, oh, the objective is up. We'll take the objective. Oh, this is up, we'll take this. While Pain Gaming is like, if they take this, we do this. If they do this, we do this. If they go here, we go here, right? They're constantly matching and constantly understanding like, hey, our game needs to be dynamic. We need to be able to respond to whatever they're doing. While Los is kind of just like, you're going to let us do this, right? Because there's no way you should be able to match with anything. They're not thinking too far ahead, in my opinion. That's kind of been their downfall as they lost the Baron. They went in for the engage. They looked desynced. And you saw Pain Gaming. They're firing on all cylinders together.
Yeah, for sure. It does still seem to me like Los Grandes have brought forward some of the individual performance that we saw yesterday versus Furia. They are still indexing well into Lava and Hear It. They're finding good fights in lane. They found good angles for Hear It in that team fight, but there's just not as much cohesion there. There's not as much of a solid 5-man unit as Pain Gaming is. This team, that's why you keep 4 members from one split to the next, right? You only plug and play in a new AD carry. They worked out how to leverage him in the second round robin, and you can see the team that they have built in like a capital T team that Pain Gaming has. Whereas Los Grandes, there's a lot of strong elements there, and they've had their highs and their lows, but it just doesn't feel as cohesive yet, and that does seem to be where they're falling down.
And that's where that veteran prowess kind of comes into fruition, right? When you go down early, 1,000, 2,000 gold, these guys have played an enormous amount of games that they're just like, we know what to do here. We'll just set up vision traps. We'll set up some picks. We'll wait for this team to get a little bit overzealous, and we'll just flip the script on their head. Whereas Los Grandes, fundamentally, they're pretty solid. Mechanically, they're pretty good as we get back into the game here. But towards this mid game, the best macro play they made, in my mind, was sending the Rift Herald top and having Lava escort it and getting those 2 plates. That was a really smart play. You send the Tristana, the Turret Destroyer, with the Rift Herald, and you get two free towers for yourself. Other than that, though, they've kind of just been running around looking to skirmish and just been falling into Pain's traps, in my opinion.
Yeah, like the skirmishes onto mid worked the first couple of times, but then the next time, damage is always there. Karaoke is always there. They knew exactly what Lost was going to do because it's the only thing they did. They made one play, they tried to make it 4 times, and it didn't work every time. So now Pain Gaming stabilize off the mid game, and that excellent Baron maneuver gets them right back into the lead. All we have to see from Pain now is the close, and that is something that I do have faith in Pain to achieve. Here in the CBLOL, sometimes we do struggle to close, bless us. We do have a little bit of a throwing competition, but Pain Gaming have never been the worst architects of that.
It's going to be really hard to fumble the bag here if you're Pain Gaming, especially if you have a 3-item Affilio, Trajan, right? This guy's got the
Yeah.
Gale Force, Bloodthirster, Eye in Hand. I think regardless of how hard Pain Gaming wants to throw, B-Boy will will them to this game 1 win, right? It's impossible. Like, he's so strong right now. He's so far ahead of both of the ADCs. Like, I like what Los have been trying to go for, but this Glacial Prison Tristana combo, it's done now. There's no, you can't do it anymore, right? The Banshees has been picked up for Dinkado. Who are you going to throw that on to? B-Boy, who's been positioning excellently, is now
damage. All right.
Damage.
I was a bit confident, my friend. I saw that coming a mile away. It's like, why is Renata leading the charge around the corner of this one? So, okay, damage does go a bit too far there, and we do see the having a player called Damage in the game is so annoying. We do see the damage that Lava can do. It's definitely there. He's still got the Kraken. He's heading towards that 3rd item. And you can't get sloppy into that level of burst. But I think I agree with you, Shibby, that B-Boy is not going to be making mistakes like that. He's 3-0-1, 3 kills to his name with the Gale Force and the Flash and the Cleanse now. It's going to be very hard to actually catch him out.
Yeah, and... hey, we saw the combo. We saw what Los did. They used it on damage. That was their only target, right? It was super unfortunate. Yeah. And when you're burning big cooldowns like that onto the support, you have to believe that if the rest of Pain Gaming was there, they would have just been like, oh, your engage is done. Like, here is your only option here, and we don't even see him. We're not even worried about this guy right now. So now Weiser's coming in with the Mega Gnar.
Oh, flashes in, gets the stun onto here as well, forces the defensive slicing Maelstrom, and Weiser evaporates on the front line. Again, Pain Gaming, a bit too hasty, my friends, and that's a more important target lost.
Trajan, you told me Pain Gaming
I may have cursed them a little bit, Shibby. I may have cursed them just a little bit.
Look, I'll take some responsibility. I said that B-Boy won't let them throw. It looks like B-Boy isn't letting them, right? He's staying alive. Yeah. He's not opting into these whack fights, but Weiser and Damage, they're getting a little bit over aggressive, I'm gonna say. I think they're kind of itching to take these fights and take the win here, because the one thing that we do have to mention is that if Los Grandes is there to respond, as we kind of see this half-hearted engage, Weiser goes in at the last second with his Mega Gnar, but he goes down. He's in mini. This guy is a squishmallow, Trajan. It's done. He's gonna get absolutely bursted out regardless of the stats. He's got such a low base HP that the full damage composition that Herit has kind of built for himself, right? There's no Zanyas. He's got Magic Pen, and oh wait, let me check that. More Magic Pen. So he's going to tear through Weiser like butter, unfortunately. The Slicing Maelstrom comes in, dissuades Pain Gaming from kind of hopping in and finishing the rest of that fight, and so Weiser just goes down without any support. But now, once again, the vision control being used. Los Grandes have no clue this is happening.
Yep, Lava's on the push and the Baron just ticking ever lower. Ranger maybe sniffs something out, but look at all this vision from Pain. They know exactly where he's going. He's not going to make it in. So Pain, they tried skirmishing a little bit. Didn't love that. Let's go back to the Baron plays. That worked for us last time, and it is seamless from them. All 5 members sneaking away with the Baron at the cost of 1, maybe 2 turrets.
Oh, and the Banshee's maximum value coming out from Dinkado eats the Glacial Prison. Baron goes down. They lose bot lane and mid lane turret. Lava got another 600 gold paycheck for himself in that bot lane. Has now matched, I would say, B-Voy in the gold department. So there is a bit of a shining light. It looks like Los, they're just taking everything that Pain Gaming gave them. They take the turrets, they take the jungle camps, they take the minions. Yeah, they'll happily trade Baron, I guess, for double towers and just getting Lava more and more ahead. They're really putting a lot of gold into this guy.
Yeah, I think if B-Boy is trying to stop Pain Gaming throwing this game, I think Lava is trying to do the same for Los Grandes. He is saying, guys, chill, sit down, calm down. I am scaling. I am in the hyperbolic time chamber right now. I am growing in size by the second. And he is going to pop off in a fight if he gets that one reset on the Tristana. If they can find that opening kill and Lava gets activated, there is a chance that he just goes nuts all over Pain Gaming, and they have to be very aware of that. We can see them now staying together as always onto the bot side. They do still have a Baron to play with.
It feels weird because Pain Gaming, they just feel like they've lost the sauce a little bit. They're not playing around these vision traps. They're not really looking to set up some of these more shrewd fights. They're just bumping uglies 5v5 against Los, or they're forcing these engages, and they've gotten punished twice now.
Yeah, the guile that they showed earlier is not quite as present here, as now we have this deep push from B-Boy, and Hirit and Ranger are
No, they'll take
there, but they're not feeling confident to try and collapse on them here with Weiser. Doesn't even have TP. We should be going on this, lads. There is no Gnar. He's now on the way, but Lost, I think, have let them slip through their fingers, as even Lava takes a lot of damage. Natuno, very early ultimate. Los Grandes are quaking right now, Shibby.
They're strict. They're strict with fear right now. Pain
They
Gaming
are.
has put the fear of God.
Oh, here we
inside of
go.
them.
That's on B-Boy. They got the cleanse. Can they follow it up with anything more? Hirit needs to get on top of him. Hostile takeover again slows them down. And the Hirit ultimate is in no man's land. And Kado completely stifles them on Los Grandes. I thought they had a flank, but it came to nothing.
That wasn't a slicing maelstrom, Trajan. That was a light drizzle at best. That was one of the worst Kennen ultimates.
Cooling mist.
Yeah. I mean, he just ran away with the Kennen ultimate, didn't even try to go in, and despite like the really good engage from Ranger, just no follow-up once again from Lowe's. It feels like you're on this Kennen. You talked about it yesterday, right? His game 3 or game 4, he looked absolutely amazing on it. You could have fooled me, Trajan. You could have fooled me.
Yeah, that first one was sick. That was the holdover from game 3, but that one, I don't know. They changed like Syndra's W so you can throw Kennen back or something. I don't know how he ends up so far away from the Pain Gaming roster, and now he doesn't have Flash. He doesn't have Volt, and the Soul is just gone. Now it is just Cloud Soul. It's not that big of a deal, but Pain Gaming getting that boon is better than nothing, that's for sure.
I mean, that's a Mach 5 monkey coming at you, right? If you're Natuno, if you're Lava, you fear the Cyclone Wukong coming in with Cloud Soul. He's going to be moving at an absolute light speed levels here. And if anything, the movement is just going to help Pain Gaming kite this Los Grandes engage out. And it just looks like Hirit and Ranger, they are not playing on the same page. They look so desynced that regardless if you have the press R button composition, if you're not playing together, if you're not understanding when each other want to go in, you're not setting up your carries for success here. And so Lava and Natuno, despite being on very strong carry champions, have just not had the opportunity to even participate in these fights.
Yeah, that bot lane play, Lava was getting chunked out left and right by Dinkado's Syndra, and there was just no answer. He's been building and scaling and crafting this build for many, many minutes. He's just hit his 4th item, and he's level 18. He's got the maximum range. He has activated Tristana, but he needs to get some room to play with that one. And we saw, Natuno dropping the really early defensive ult. Lava kept out of the fight. They're not being allowed to leverage these plays as how comes the TP from Hirit and Lava. If they can find their way into B-Boy, he's got no summoners. But Hirit is completely isolated. They have to go for Weiser instead, and they will find one target at the very least. It's not for nothing.
Weiser once again goes down, I believe, in the mini Gnar form, wasn't even allowed to transform. And he's saying worth. One man slicing Maelstrom, and I'll take that. That was better than my last one. As now Pain Gaming, they still think they can take it. 4v5.
Has to drop the ultimate. Lava jumps over to cover the retreat, but B-Boy's feeling confident, and Ranger on the other side is getting beaten down by Karaoke. Syndra tries to finish it off. In goes B-Boy with the Gale Force, and Dinkado takes the credit. The 1-for-1 it becomes after all of that, and Pain Gaming are still the ones running it down mid.
4v5, no Weiser, no problem. They're going to take that kill. They're going to take the mid lane turret, and they're going to take the inhibitor as well. There's nothing Los can do. They're relegated just pushing lanes, maybe getting some vision down in their own jungle, but Pain Gaming, despite not having their tank engage, they said, we got Karaoke, we've got Cyclone, we're ready to go. As now this 3rd Baron of the match is ripe for the taking for Pain Gaming.
Ranger still with 13 seconds on the timer. Lava? It's going to have to be Lava. We can't 1v9 just yet, my friend. Rocket jumps to safety, does get out with it, but takes half his HP. B-Boy, man, is absolutely insane this game. I mentioned the last fight, he had no summoners. If they could get on top of him, they'd probably make it work, but he is positioning so very well, and it is Baron number 3 for Pain Gaming. I must say, with this many Barons, if you're not going to win the game soon, Pain, we're going to have to have questions for you, but there's only one inhib left.
Yeah, and that's top lane, and this is what seems like the last shot for Los, right? This is where they make their, in my opinion, final stand. Super's barreling down mid. Super's going down bot lane. You've got a fully baroned up Pain Gaming launching themselves at you at the top lane, right? Weiser doesn't have his form yet. So this is where they need to strike right now. Ranger needs to go in with Hear It. If any time is better, it's now. You have to do Slicing Maelstrom plus Glacial Prison. You've got to get this combo off, because if Wise is allowed to hit that Mega Gnar farm, if they're allowed to siege your top lane with impunity, they are just going to walk in the supers, double waves in hand, ready to take everything down.
He did find a nice route onto B-Boy and force the McHale's out of damage. Ranger almost nails him with the Glacial Prison, doesn't get stunned on the way back, but the handshake keeps him in position. Wise is on the fight with Karaoke. Here it drops the ultimate. They stopped that flank from Pain, but here it's the first to fall as Lava cannot find the kill on Weiser, and that is going to be inhib number 3. Los Grandes, an attempt was made, but Pain Gaming, they slip out of their grasp, and now this map is nigh on unplayable.
I'm done with the Cannon experiment. I don't want to see it anymore. Hear It has not landed a good ultimate since the first Baron. And even then, his team wasn't there to follow up. So you could even argue that part of that was his fault, right? He could have waited for his team a little bit. This Cannon has not been panning out the way we expect, right? Especially if you're hyper-indexing to the full damage variant. There's no Zhonya's. There's no survivability. It is just underwhelming at best. And so now there is no room to play for Lava and Natuno. They are not allowed to participate in any of these fights.
They really aren't. They've got so much map pressure to play with. Their bot inhib has at least come back up, so they don't have to deal with too many of the double super minion waves. And they've got a minute left on the Elder to try and get this map under some sort of control, as Pain Gaming are feeling comfortable setting up shop in the bot side jungle. We saw the damage graphs as well. Dinkado head and shoulders above anyone else, kind of quietly on the Syndra, racking up so much damage, and he's been having these really critical scatter the weeks in team fights to dissuade people like Lava, people like Hear It from really getting that value off.
Yeah, I think that has to be said, right? As bad as these Slicing Maelstroms have become, Dinkado, like you said, has been doing a really good job just zoning them out and making sure that Hear It is never allowed to kind of walk up here. If he ever misses one, if he ever doesn't hit this scatter of the week, Hear It 100% walks into this backline. As now, Weiser, once again, with his over-aggressive, this guy plays Gnar like he's Dr. Mundo. He's got no care in the world.
He is feeling confident right now. Saves the ultimate, but his Mega Gnar is ticking away as the Baron waves crash into those Nexus turrets. The triple inhib, once again, the state of affairs. And B-Boy working on that turret, shredding through it with the Aphelios. Stun onto the Tuna from Dinkado. Again, the massive value of the week. Hear It. This has to be the Maelstrom of a lifetime. Can he make it work? He only finds one, doesn't find B-Boy. And the Aphelios will gun him down again. Turns onto Zai as Weiser goes Mega again. There's the ultimate, and Pain Gaming dismantle Los Grandes to finish up game 1. The cerebral masterminds do it again, and they'll take the lead in the series.
Even with the best of flanks, the best of picks, that